scariest moment of the journey?
Scariest? It didn't happen. It could have been scary.
We went down and we watched you guys land on the moon,
No,
which
you
was...
didn't. No, you didn't.
What?
Because there wasn't any television. There wasn't anybody taking a picture. You watched animation. See, you associated what you saw with...
I have very hazy memories.
I know.
Well, no, but what we saw was we all were gathered around the old curved top radio and listened.
Talking about, how many feet we were going to the left and right, and then I said, contact light, engine stop.
It's exciting.
A few other things, and then Neil said, Houston, Tranquility Base, the Eagle has landed. Man, how about that?
That was very exciting.
Not a bad line.
Wow. Yeah.
We had predicted. When we actually descended the ladder, it found... So that indicates that the walking probably just increases your ability to notice a double picture. It's actually a stereo picture of fine particulate material in the moon.
Cautious in moving around in this rough terrain.
We were never able to see stars from the lunar surface or on the daylight side of the moon by eye without looking through the optics. I don't recall during the period of time that we were photographing the solar corona what stars we could see.
I don't remember seeing any.
Neil, you were a little bit concerned, you said about...
Look at the photo. You say that's me? Okay, check out the name badge. It says Aldrin. Looks like you're right. But notice the helmet. Can you see my face? No. This is a secret I've been keeping for almost half a century. On July 20th, 1969, Neil Armstrong and I pulled off humanity's first extraterrestrial prank.
Welcome back with another banger. Hit that like, sub it up, don't react, bounce. Hit that like, sub it up, don't react, bounce. Y'all feel me? Let's run it.
The CIA just located a missing American pilot in Iran, not by signal, but by his heartbeat from miles away. Using a classified system called Ghost Murmur, reportedly developed by Lockheed Martin's Skunk Works, U.S. intelligence detected the pilot's unique electromagnetic pulse through quantum sensors and AI filtering. Wounded and hidden in a mountain crevice and surrounded by search teams, he was found from roughly 40 miles away. Officials say this was the first operational use, though it sounds an awful lot like body area networks or bands, where the human body itself can be detected and tracked by its own unique biological signals without any wearable device at all, especially successful when combined with nanotech. If you don't know what I'm talking about, look it up.
The CIA possesses unique capabilities that only the president can deploy. Some of these capabilities fall under covert action authorities. And because covert means exactly that, I'm not going to be able to tell you everything that you want to know. At the president's direction, we deployed both human assets and exquisite technologies that no other intelligence service in the world possesses to a daunting challenge, comparable to hunting for a single grain of sand in the middle of a desert. This was also a race against the clock, as it was critical that we locate the downed aviator as quickly as possible, while at the same time keeping our enemies misdirected. For that reason, in addition to the human and technical assets deployed by the president to find our airman, CIA executed a deception campaign to confuse the Iranians who were desperately hunting for our airmen. On Saturday morning, we achieved our primary objective by finding and providing confirmation that one of America's best and bravest was alive and concealed in a mountain crevice, still invisible to the enemy, but not to the CIA. That confirmation was relayed by Secretary Hegseth to the president, and the operation quickly moved to the execution phase. Following the successful exfiltration on Saturday night, our intelligence reflects that the Iranians were embarrassed and ultimately humiliated by the success of this audacious rescue mission.
Sounds like something out of a movie. Shout out to Ariana Masters. Ghost Murmur? Like, whoa. Covert operations? Sounds like that information Sabrina Wallace be talking about.
The thing that changed for me looking back at Earth was that I found myself noticing not only the beauty of the Earth, but how much blackness there was around it, and how it just made it even more special. It truly emphasized how alike we are, how the same thing keeps every single person on planet Earth alive. We evolved on the same planet. We have some shared things about how we love and live that are just universal.
Oh, dude. What the fuck is that? What the fuck is that, bro? What the fuck is that? I don't know, man. Oh my god, bro, what is that? I thought it was the moon, man. What the fuck, bro? I don't know, man. It's fucking moving, dog. Oh, you that territory is moving. Fucking UFO, man. What the fuck? Oh shit. What the fuck? Oh my god, bro. What is that, bro? No idea. Holy fuck. Yeah, no fucking idea. There ain't no clouds. I don't know what the hell that is, man. Fucking crazy, dude. Holy shit. That's fucked, bro. Fuck, dude. What the fuck? Dude, that's fucked up, man.
We have an odd video for you today, and this was actually captured by a man named Mike Parker. He was driving down a rural road when he saw something that he initially thought was a UFO. But here's the thing, he's driven down this road many times and never has he seen this before. It looks like a gigantic dome. More than likely it's a tarp, but what is it covering? He doesn't know. And also this land, it's not owned by farmers or ranchers. It's actually U.S. agricultural restricted land. So what are they covering up? Take a look at this, comment below, tell me what you think.
That looks a little more than just a dome. If I was that driver, I'd go buy a drone and come back to that location and get an aerial view of what that is. That's wild. Sounds like something Stephen Greer would describe. Shout outs to Paranormal Link.
4 words for you. Check out this hole. You can resume your depressing politics doom scroll in a second, but right now it's hole time. This isn't just any hole. It's one of the biggest and most rapidly expanding holes in the world. Oh no. It's called the Batagaika crater. It's of course in the middle of Siberia. It's what's called a thermokarst, or a retrogressive thaw slump. Retrogressive thaw slump. Jesus Christ. Milo, that's great, but those words are complete gibberish and this means nothing to me. Don't worry about it, I got you. Back in the 60s, the Soviets decided to cut down a lot of trees here. At the time, the landscape was completely different. There was a ton of lumberjacks and there was no hole. Absolute nightmare. Most of Siberia is permafrost. Trees sort of acted as like a blanket protecting the permafrost from the warming climate. When they were cut down, the permafrost began to melt. It created a river that would cut through more permafrost and expose more of its surface area to the warm air. Then that would also melt, expose more, fall in, and ultimately create a crazy snowball effect that has resulted in a crater that's now more than 200 acres. And it's growing exponentially faster now, as you can see in the 30-year difference between these two photos. I don't know if you really get how insane the scale of this is. Some of the crater's walls are more than 300 feet tall. This low point here has cut all the way down to bedrock, and recent studies have shown that parts of it are receding at 30 feet per year, with acres upon acres of forest just falling in as the ground beneath them turns to liquid. Today it's the largest thermokarst in the world, and its growth shows no signs of stopping. It's a great example of how the planet isn't just made up of individual resources, but is an interconnected system where mismanagement will lead to a butterfly effect of collapse. And if we don't get that through our heads soon, the whole world's gonna go hole up, as they say. They don't say that. If you want more fun stuff to interrupt the nightmare of your doom scroll, sauce me a follow for more, and send this to your friends to let them know that
Titan horseshoe crab? Let's replace the depressive political doom scrolling with depressive environmental collapse doom scrolling. We ain't never getting Grand Theft Auto 6.
Leaked video footage, allegedly originating from the Uintah County Sheriff's Department, located just miles from Skinwalker Ranch, have surfaced online, and they're sending shockwaves through the paranormal community.
Hold the light right there. Sir, you okay? Stay with me. Back up. Move.
Grainy body cam footage reportedly shows officers responding to reports of movement near an abandoned property when a pale, emaciated figure appears from the darkness. Witnesses describe its elongated shoulders, ashen skin, and narrow, claw-like feet that click against the gravel as it moves. Officers can be heard gasping before the entity darts behind a fence with inhumane speed. Experts and skeptics alike are baffled, with some calling it evidence of a dogman-type humanoid, a creature long dismissed as internet folklore. In the audio, one voice whispers, "What is that?" moments before the video cuts abruptly. Whether an elaborate hoax or a glimpse of something never meant to be seen, the Uintah County leak adds yet another chilling layer to the dark legend surrounding Skinwalker Ranch.
Whatever that thing was, it was fast AF. Shout out to Night God 33.
This is Jeremy's dinner, and in space you really just eat all of your food out of bags of some kind, plastic bags or little metallic bags, because we have to rehydrate a lot of our food. This is actually shrimp cocktail.
Yeah, so watch the tail the bag leaves on Jeremy's face. So that's this guy right here. This bag is just floating in the air, and if you don't know with this footage that they send out, all these things that are floating is actually CGI, is completely computer animated, and that's why there's so many inconsistencies with it. And if you look at the edges of it, you'll see...
And this has been rehydrated already, so we added water to it, and the shrimp soaked back up the water, and it's actually pretty tasty.
They are not eating anything. So, you see, look right here. It'll kind of distort because it's computer animation, and it can't animate that closely with two different objects moving side by side on different layers.
This is an example of a food that has not been rehydrated yet. It got all dried out for...
So they put this red dot on there because that is if you know anything about video editing, you want to put a bright red area on something for motion tracking to keep track of where your animation is going.
Flying up here in space, and those are green beans.
And it disappears sometimes, too.
A new moon mission has brought new conspiracy theories. 4 astronauts on NASA's Artemis II spaceflight have made history by travelling further from Earth than any other humans. Now, the internet thinks it's found proof it was actually all filmed on a green screen. But when we put these pictures through Google's SynthID watermark detector, we found they were made with Google AI. We've also seen this video going viral. It's a snippet of a CNN interview with the 4 astronauts filmed on a mobile phone off a TV screen. In the video, you can see letters appearing on this floating toy, and that's fueled the green screen theories. But in reality, none of that appears in the original footage. We spoke to the BBC's operations team, who say this is likely just a TV graphics glitch where on-screen text has accidentally been layered behind the footage when it was broadcast on TV. And what about this video, claiming to show a spacewalk is fake because the astronaut has 3 legs? Well, it's a Facebook page that clearly says it posts AI-generated space fantasies.
The moon mission is a ritual. Symbolism of a rocket makes it very clear what it's about. Rockets are always made in the image of a phallus. Obelisks are an extension of male reproductive organ symbolism, and they can be found in every major city of great power. Because the male reproductive organs are a symbol of authority, dominance, and power. These phalluses and obelisks are never placed randomly. They're always located in a place of great power. So why did they do this ritual? Because recently there has been a lot going on. No one trusts the government because of the files that came out. We all know that space is fake and they're not going to the moon. The real reason they're doing this is to show their power and authority and dominance over the masses. Me and you can't send a rocket into space. We don't have billions of pounds to throw around. They don't care about placing a man in space. They care about their power and position over humanity. That's why they use the phallus symbolism, to remind you who has power and dominance over you. It's just another power ritual to subconsciously make you feel small and powerless. You are only powerless if you believe you are. Us as a collective consciousness hold the power to shape this reality to our will.
Okay, so I'm wandering around the museum today in Cairo, and I totally came across the tablets that influenced Aleister Crowley's Book of the Law. And I'm telling you guys, the whole setup is so weird. So for those of you that don't know what I'm talking about, here's just like a little quick backstory. Crowley's wife basically had started channeling an entity that was telling her, you guys need to go find these tablets. So Crowley goes to Egypt, listens to his wife's instructions to a T, enters into the museum and finds these tablets in this Cairo museum. They were labeled artifact number 666. The Stele of Revealing basically talks about a priest aligning with divine intelligence. And using this intelligence, he can reclaim divine power and direct connection with the world around him. So back to the museum. Here we are. I'm seeing these tablets. They are totally unlisted about like what they are. No information below it other than talking about the priest statues. And it's in hall number 11. And then directly across from it is a statue of Horus. And me and a few other people that are on this tour were just standing there like, how is nobody else noticing this? All of these pieces together flow like a system of an initiation process. So wild, but I guess that's like the beauty of Egypt, right? Magic is everywhere, hidden and unhidden, if you are willing to see.
Yeah, this museum's on the bucket list. I don't fly to Egypt. Shout outs to Quantum Soul Dula. That's crazy. Them tablets are there with no description, no nothing. It's as if they don't want anybody to know.
This is fucking scary. What in the fuck? You got your headlights on? Yeah. It is one lane. Oh my god, do you smell that oil? Oh my god. Am I supposed to be driving on this? I don't know. There's a car coming. They better just stop.
Welcome to Indiana.
This is crazy. I can't believe I had to pay $2 to drive over this. Oh my God. This is fucked up. Oh my gosh.
Take your next right onto South Hoods Road.
Oh, over the river, man. You get ready to fall in.
Yeah, this is crazy.
Yeah.
Freaking river. You know it's cold as heck down there. This is what we're having to drive over. This is crazy. This is nuts. Do people do this every day? I cannot believe we are driving on this bridge.
Got my butthole fucking puckered. God damn. What the fuck?
Just trying to get over back to Indiana, that's all.
Okay, there is life on another planet, and here is proof. I am in our garden, and where are we?
Oh my God.
It's there.
No, it's that way.
No, it's that. Look. Look.
It's that. It went over there.
I think that. Look.
I think it went into the water.
I think that's it there. Look.
No.
That's the trail. Look.
That's the trail. Yeah, it went that way. Yeah. This one?
Well, it's tourism then.
What?
Look, there's one over there on the right. Look, over the hedge.
No, there's not. That's a star.
No, it's not a star, Lauren.
Yes, it is. That's a star. Yeah, you're right, Simon, that one, yeah.
Thank you.
Or an airplane.
These documents in front of me contain important clues as to the real identity of Satoshi Nakamoto, the pseudonymous inventor of Bitcoin. In the past 17 years, more than 100 names have been put forward as potential Satoshis. The list runs the gamut from an Irish cryptography student to even Elon Musk. One of the names that's come up often is that of a British cryptographer named Adam Back. I was convinced that the only way to solve this mystery was to glean clues from his writings. Satoshi has long been thought to have been a member of the cypherpunks. I started to spot similarities between Adam Back's writing and Satoshi's writing. I noticed that Satoshi and Adam Back were both pathologically incapable of using hyphens correctly. They tended to hyphenate compound nouns, which you're not supposed to do, and to not hyphenate compound adjectives, which you are supposed to do. This is a post to the cypherpunks list back in 2004. Here you have Adam Back using the term partial pre-image. And here you have Satoshi using the term. Our database initially contained more than 30,000 users. With the help of AI tools, we compiled all the hyphenation errors Satoshi had made in his texts. And the person who matched those hyphenation errors most closely was Adam Back. The foundational text of Bitcoin is Satoshi's white paper. Satoshi references an invention by Adam Back called Hashcash as the way to mine new Bitcoins. What's interesting is 2 months before Satoshi unveiled the white paper, Satoshi wrote emails to Adam Back. This is the first exchange of emails between them. That's kind of suspicious in and of itself. Adam Back is the first person Satoshi was ever in contact with. Bitcoin was the closest manifestation of the vision Adam had laid out in the previous 10 years, and yet when it was presented on the cryptography list in late 2008, Adam Back was nowhere to be found. But then Satoshi went dark in late April of 2011. And 6 weeks later, Adam Back started commenting about Bitcoin for the first time. Adams chalked all of this up to one big series of coincidences. The first time I met Adam in Las Vegas at the Venetian Hotel, he was very polite, very patient in answering my questions. But then, when I followed up with him about the emails that Satoshi had sent him and asked him for the metadata, he went dark. Looking at all the evidence I've collected over the past 18 months, I became more and more convinced that they were actually emails Adam Back had sent to himself. So I figured the best way to get to him was to go to the next Bitcoin conference that he was scheduled to speak at. When I started to press him about some of the evidence that was harder to explain away, his face turned red and he fidgeted. He continued to deny multiple times that he was Satoshi Nakamoto, but his body language told a different story. The ethos of Bitcoin is that it's a decentralized, collective project with no central authority, no hierarchy. If Satoshi is suddenly identified and becomes a real person, then that suddenly gives Bitcoin a leader. Adam Back doesn't want that. He knows that the community doesn't want that.
Because who saw the movie The Matrix? Okay, good. Then we can start from a point of reference. Matrix was a banging movie to me, and the reason why I appreciated it so much was because, do you remember at the end when Neo realized his potential? He started to see the binary code. You remember that? The whole world. Well, that's where I'm trying to be spiritually. I'm trying to see the word of God in the whole world. So every time that agent throws a punch, I'm like, I see you. Oh, okay. I'm just catching his punching. So I'm not afraid. I'm not afraid because I'm starting to see that. Things are just, situations materialize themselves and, oh, he's an agent. But here's the trick. Here's the trick. Here's the trick is that you have to remember that sometimes you can be an agent. You can be an agent to yourself. You can be an agent against someone else and not even realize that you're being used, That's the Matrix.
And that's a wrap. Hope you enjoyed the deep dive. If you enjoyed this video, please consider to give it a like, subscribe to the channel. Don't forget to hit the notification bell. Shout outs to all the reactors. Thanks again. Till next time.